So we've ended up in an unfortunate scenario where we are kind of dogfighting a MiG-19, although dogfighting is putting it kind of charitably. This is a Harrier, that's a MiG-19. We really don't have a great plan for this. Yeah, that's about where we're at. We take some YOLO shots up top to try to get this A5C off of us. We're actually dogfighting two enemies, technically, although the A5C does kind of give up. But this is where I realized this MiG-19 really does have my number, right? Like, I can attempt some, like, long-range shots on him. I can't even get my nose on him, really. Like, that was, like, my best opportunity. No way I can even get my nose on this A5C. So my plan becomes something just completely asinine. I throw the thrust vectoring, and you can see the nozzles moving into 100 degrees. So the nozzles aren't pointing back or even down. They're actually pointing slightly forward. So we are essentially just killing our speed and hoping that this is enough to get this MiG-19 off of us, because we don't really have a better plan. And the MiG-19 overshoots us, and I'm like, okay, maybe hopefully he'll just, like, give up or something. Because, like, we don't have a great plan for dealing with this guy in a dogfight. So we're just, like, flying in between these trees with our nozzles pointed completely forward, like, slightly forward. Just trying to not die. And the MiG-19 tries to dive on us, knocks off our tail, and crashes headfirst into the ground. What you're probably wondering right now, if you're me, or if you're watching this, is, do I make it back to the runway, which you can see in the distance? Stay tuned to see if I can limp my way back to the runway on a Harrier with no tail and no rear stabilizers. Spoiler, if any plane can make it back to the runway, it is the Harrier. But if we go too fast, we will lose all stability. Like we have nothing canceling out. Like, we have nothing on the back of the plane canceling this out. We are entirely dependent on basically the thrust vectoring aspect of this plane to keep it in the air. To keep it, well, not in the air, but to keep it stable. So we're kind of limping our way forward, hoping nobody else decides they want a piece of us. And it is just... it's just the dumbest thing ever. God. Like, we're about... You can see the F4Cs on the runway. We're about 7 kilometers out. And this is where I realized I'm actually going a little too fast. Like, I pointed the thrust nozzles, I think at, like, 40 degrees, and then I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. We can't do this. We have to point them further forward. So I think it's, like, 58 or 60 degrees was, like, the furthest forward I could actually get them without completely losing all control of the aircraft. But this is also the tricky part, because we have to both get to the runway and plop it down, but we have very little vertical or horizontal control. So we just kind of have to hope we're lined up with something that won't kill us, and this A-10 is, you know, doing his victory dance as we very slowly limp our way to the airfield. Like, good job, A-10. I think that A-10 was actually the one that saves me later in the match. I guess that spoils the fact that we do end up successfully landing. But, yeah, that A-10, or it might have been the other A-10. I think it was that one, though. But, yeah, just, who needs a tail? Just... This is so bad. And now we're trying to... We're lowering the landing gear. And yet we're really feathering the throttle, like, up and down a little, because the thrust vectoring is really weird about exactly what level of throttle, like, lifts you and doesn't. And the difference is actually pretty dramatic. But we do actually manage to limp our way to the airfield, touch down, and fire our cannon off to slow us down a little. And we are successfully on the runway. So, we managed to not only get the MiG-19 to crash its face into the ground, but we also managed to land with no tail. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a nice day, everybody.